Greetings everyone, this is the Hipster Snek, and for our next Snek plays I thought I'd do something just a little bit different. This is one of my favorite incarnations of the Mega Man franchise, that being MegaMan Battle Network. I'll get more into the hows and whys later, and as you see I've already played this game a good deal. But we're gonna hit a new game, and just dive right in. Lan, wake up! As always, we have a narcoleptic for our protagonist, so this should be very comfortable territory for those familiar with JRPGs. If you don't get up, you'll be late for school. PET Net News, World 3 Crime on the Rise. By the way, I'm not saying WWW every single time, I'm just going to use the anime naming convention and call them World 3 for short. It says the World 3 plan to control the net might be starting. Sleep. Hashtag relatable. You got mail from Dad, too, look. Sorry I couldn't get off work Sunday. I'll be home soon. Here's a present for you, it says. They make him work 7 days a week. That is, aggressively Japanese work ethic. There's some battle chip data attached. Yawn. I was just having a great dream, too. I'll expand the chip data, so check your PET later, okay? And for those who haven't played these games before, you're now introduced to our main character, Lan Hikari, who has many Mega Man Legends references in his bedroom because this was made by the same team. Lan got his PET, the first of many, actually, as we'll later see. Lan got an AI navigation program, MegaMan.exe. Lan, good morning. Morning, Mega Man. If you need to talk to me, just push the L button. Alright, let's get to school. Check your mail again. Now, they'll do that for all mail events. Anytime you have anything marked new, Mega Man will let you know. Alright. So, real quick, we're gonna do a quick mechanical breakdown. This is one of those adventure/RPG titles that has a description for everything. So pretty much everything on this map has some kind of description. Lan's secret tools are hidden here. I don't know what kind of secret tools an 11-year-old boy would have, but okay. To start, folder and library are for our battle chips. If you're wondering what battle chips are, you won't be wondering too long, I assure you. Now there is one completely worthless chip in this deck, and it's this one, so I'm getting rid of it. Library just shows you what chips you have and don't have, which is great for completionists, I guess. I'm not going to worry about this. As always, I'm going to focus on a story-based playthrough, and when the credits roll, I'm considering the game done. We can look at Mega Man's stats here. Mostly it boils down to what armor he's wearing, his attack, rapid, and charge stats, and his HP. Items throughout the game will boost these. Email, as we've already seen, is literally just email. Items is not like items in most RPGs. These are your key items, and there's nothing you'll ever have to do manually here. Network is for people who want to battle with other gamers in net battles. Now, the way this is set up right now, I don't have anyone to do that with, so we just have the game. Like I said, it's good that we actually check the description of everything. This panel controls all the electric items in the house. So not only can you find free items, it also will help you with the different puzzles throughout the game. This TV is too old to have a jack port. Very attractive stand, chosen of course by Mom. Mom loves to collect all these plates. Now, that doghouse is not really important now, but it will be later on, so just bear it in mind. Lan eats a hurried breakfast. Yum. Lan found a chip under the plate. Recover 10A. Good morning, Lan. Morning, Mom. Breakfast is on the table. You have time to eat? I literally already did, so hope you don't mind my little sequence breaking right there. Pies that Mom makes in this oven are the best. Refrigerator is filled with food, because Well, if we didn't have a narcoleptic gluttonous protagonist, it simply would not be a JRPG. Man, you're late. Uh-oh, Matt looks grumpy. No one asked you to wait for me. Did you just say something? Come on, let's go. Why do we always have to walk to school together? It's silly, because we've always got so much to talk about. She means she's got a lot to talk about, and you just listen. Quiet. Have you heard about the oven accidents? People's ovens have been spitting fire all of a sudden. I bet it's another World 3 virus on the loose. You're just imagining things. Maybe. So, literally no one in the future has an electrical oven, alright? I accept that at face value. Morning, Land. Dex is looking for you. He's too big to be in elementary school, you know? Scary. I don't know if there's confirmation of it, but a few people speculate that the character of Dex was held back a grade or two. These books are all by Miss Mario's favorite author, Dr. Yasu's Guide to Virus Busting. Looks interesting. You wish to ask Ma, Madame Yai herself, about the PET? Now that is a 5-head, because it's greater than a 4-head. And, she's got a bit of bulldog face going on there. They actually prettied her up in the anime adaptation, and even some of the later games, but, it's pretty deliberate. They were trying to make her look kind of strange. And, don't really need your help. I've kind of already covered everything. Suit yourself. Class notebook. Handwriting this bad must be Dex's. Hey, you can have bad handwriting and still be relatively smart, okay? Not that I'm taking that personally or anything. Right now we just kind of have these two gossiping. And this particular character portrait is just a generic NPC that shows up throughout the game, but it reminds me of Osaka from Azumanga Daioh, and now that you've seen it, you will not be able to unsee it. Been waiting for you, Lan. I challenge you to a net battle. Your wimpy Mega Man against my Guts Man. No idea why Mega is in air quotes there. I heard that net battling isn't allowed, you know. Ah, stuff it. You sure got a big mouth for such a shrimp. We're not bothering anyone, are we, Lan? Well, I guess. Shrimp, that's no way to talk to a lady. It's a little unclear in early games, but apparently there are very strict regulations on net battling in this world, and we don't really get to hear much more about that until the next game, and weirdly enough, Battle Network 4. But we'll get to that. Class is starting. After class, Land, be there. Let's begin class, shall we? First period is virus busting. Who's read net news? I did. It said World 3 net crime is on the rise. It's always on the rise. This is just the nature of the world we live in. Very good. Extra marks for checking your net news. I wish I got extra credit in school just for reading the newspaper, essentially. No one ever did that for me. Of course, you should know too, Lan. It's important that we all know how to fight viruses, because in this future, antiviruses are not a thing that exist. I'd like to see a World 3 virus take on me, Gutsman. Dex and his silly little Gutsman. What'd you say? Relax. Why would the World 3 bother with you anyway, Dex? To say nothing of the fact that Gutsman is actually a very proactive character, and Yai's Navi Glide is not. Why you, Lan? Quiet in the class. Today we'll be using the common virus called the Met tool. Jack in your PET so your net Navi can access the net. She said jack in. Press the R button. Yeah. Pretty spiffy effect circa 2001. Looks like everyone's Navi is online. Okay, I'm releasing the Met tool data now. Everyone ready? You have no idea how many times in my lifespan I've gone through this. Okay, let's have a demonstration of how to delete viruses. When fighting, you must first send chip data to your Navi. You choose the chips to send in this window. Chip icons are shown at the bottom of the setup window. From here, you choose which chips you want to send to the net Navi. This shows the chip data you have selected. It shows the attack rating, meaning it will do 40 damage. This is the virus's hit points. HP shows how tough this virus is. Now, there's a lot of instances where low HP belies the fact that they're much more dangerous than you might think. You can normally only send one chip at a time, but you can send multiple copies of the same chip, such as 2 or 3 cannons. This will let you use more weapons and fight much better. Now we'll choose which chip data to send to the Navi. Select the A button, press the R button to see an explanation of the chip. Some of these are more helpful than others. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to use the simplest means of dealing with this particular issue, which is precisely as she said. Let's send this data to your Navi. Choose OK. Send the data. Now it's time to fight the virus. I'll explain how to fight as we actually do so. You can move your Navi up, down, left, and right. If you shoot with the B button, it's weak but fast. Your HP are shown at the top left. If you go down to 0 HP, your Navi is deleted, so be careful. Above your Navi's head is the chip data you sent. You can only use it once, so be careful. That's a little deceptively worded. You get your chips back at the end of every battle, it's just you only get to use them once in each individual encounter. That's the basic battle technique. Easy, right? Mismari, what do you do if you use your chips and the virus still isn't dead? That's a good question. Everyone look here. This is your battle gauge. It slowly fills as you fight. When it's full, press the L or R button. You can then go to the battle setup screen and choose new chips to send. Let's try it. Good luck. Yeah. This tutorial is a little too easy in some ways, but we'll cover nuance as we go. Good job. Let's go on to the next lesson. Now I'll teach you about support chips. Not all chips are weapons. For example, a steel chip will increase the area that your Navi is able to move around in. Since you need to get close for a sword, this would be a wise strategy. Miss Mari, I thought that we can only choose chip copies. Another good question. Look here, please. Do you see the letter? That's the chip's code. You can choose a different type of chip if it has the same code type. Please notice that steel and wide sword have the same code. They're both S. You can choose 2 chips at the same time now. They are shown here in the order that you choose them. This will help you plan your strategy. Let's try that. Choose steel and wide sword in order. Next, choose the wide sword. She literally will not let you pick anything else. I have tried many different ways to break these tutorials, and the game has none of it. We send the data to the Navi. Time to try out our strategy. Let's review it. First, use the A button to use steel. Then the virus's area will shrink. You'll have more room to move around. Move into the area that you took and use the sword. This is a powerful strategy. However, be careful of the virus's attacks when close. As she promised, wide sword is nice because it's actually a 1x3 columnar attack. Let's send some data to the Navi again. Now, they give you an exact copy of what you just did if you wanted to try it out for yourself, but I'm going to expedite this process a little bit. Good job. Let's go on to the next lesson. For our final lesson, we'll talk about chip adding, a strategy that I don't use. By using chip adding, you can increase the number of chips that you can use to make combinations or improve strategies. That is a terribly worded sentence, Miss Mari. Look at the screen. See the add button on the bottom right? That one that we will never use? If you select this button without choosing any chips, you will have to fight for 1 turn without, but on your next turn you'll be able to select from 10. Do this twice and you'll have 15 chips to choose from, essentially half our folder. This should surely give you all the strategies that you need. Pop quiz. For this test, you will need to use all the techniques I've just taught you and delete the virus. Good luck. Now, we could add. I'm saying, hypothetically speaking, we could use add. Or I can just ignore everything she just said and do things my own way. And this is me we're talking about, so of course I'm gonna be absolutely disobedient. Not even disobedient, she said I was free to do this as I wanted to. But, yeah. Good job, that's all for today's class. If I had classes that rock stupid, well, let's just say I wouldn't have been a straight BC student. After class, phew. Today just flew by, huh? Let's go home. Okay, yeah, it's like we've been here all of 5 whole minutes. Anyway, you gotta say it by the bell, but now it's time to fight. My Gutsman rocks, and I got the latest version yesterday. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. That's the spirit. Don't be a crybaby if you lose here. Gutsman. The Navi, who actually would be fantastic if it was piloted by literally anyone other than Dex. I forgot how terrible the starting folder is. I was waiting for that. Thank you kindly, Dex. Now, you see, all of Gutsman's attacks are shockwave type, meaning that if there's a hole in the ground, he actually doesn't have a means of hitting me. So, as said, if Gutsman was piloted by any other NetOp, he probably would be terrifying. But lucky for us, he's piloted by Dex, and thus pose no threat whatsoever. Whoops. That's what I get for getting cocky. When I have a better chip deck, I'll look to 100% perfect clear him. But you don't need to. We don't get graded on that fight. You just got lucky today. Today doesn't count, okay? Yeah, alright, buddy. Whatever you say. You and MegaMan are so good at virus busting. Gotta get me some battle chips so I can get better. And then we can take down the World 3 together. Yeah, whoever you are, person with no nose. Hope our oven's fixed by now, if it blows up again. Yeah, as said, I guess no one in the future has an electric stove anymore. Yeah, we know this. Lan, you got mail. This is Dad. I made a power-up program for MegaMan. It's a little big to send by mail, but don't worry, I'll bring it home soon. You and MegaMan make a great team. Keep it up. Dad. Don't forget that whenever you're in a pinch, you can press the PET's button to talk to MegaMan. That way, if you get confused, MegaMan will remind you what part of the story you're on. Forgot to mention something in class today. Chips don't run out when you use them, so use what you need. Press the PET's R button to call your net Navi in the net. This useful trick is called jacking out. Sorry for forgetting, and see you in class tomorrow. Pardon me, laddie. Would you please ask me where we are? Ask him or don't ask. I'll ask him. This is AC/DC Town, Den City. See, I'm not senile yet. A lot of the NPCs have very quirky dialogue, and there's a lot of very strange jokes throughout. You know, I take it back. Yeah, he doesn't have a 5-head. This kid does. Where would be a good place to hide? Someplace where the sun is not shining. Ready or not, here I come. Feels so nice to skip work and rest in the park. Hard to believe that the World 3 is plotting out there somewhere. Yeah, you said it, buddy. Cool place to build a fort. Almost makes me want to go for a slide. Lan, you're a little bit too big for that, you know. Whoa, didn't mean to skip past your dialogue, sir. Let's try that again. You can only keep 30 chips in your folder. The 5 chips that appear in the custom screen are random. Data library is a reference of all the chips you know. You can use it to review any chip you found so far. Yeah, which, like I said, we've kind of covered already. Looks like Dex isn't home. Let's come back later. The new Metro Line station is almost finished. The Metro Line is the subway for Den City. And we'll be using it soon enough. When you delete viruses, if you fight well, you'll sometimes get a chip after the fight. What's fighting well? I know that speed is good. There's actually many different factors that go into it, and we'll cover some more of those as we go along. Came to play with Mail, but she's not home. You're so lucky to live next door to her. If you say so. Security system designed to look like a doghouse. It'll alert you if any intruders in the house. Looks like you can jack in. Which we will. Because this introduces us to, I guess the safe place is to call them individual servers. These are all uniform-looking areas that are just very large square areas that you can wander around in. There are many objects that you can jack into. Please try out the objects that look suspicious. You have no idea how right you are. Ooh, this guy's actually going to be a little bit tough. And again, this starting deck is absolute hot garbage, so... In terms of what constitutes fighting well, it's a lot of different factors. One is not taking damage like an idiot. Others include how long you take in the fight. And later in the games, you'll actually get better results if you can destroy multiple viruses at the same time. Now this is going to help us out a lot. So I believe... yeah, let's just get rid of that. The letter code leaves something to be desired, but the attack itself is individually quite devastating. And we find this game's version of treasure chests, mystery data. Shotgun K, a chip that we have plenty of, so we're just not going to sweat it too much. If for whatever reason I ever need to go chip or money grinding, I'm not going to drag you guys through it. I'll edit that bit out. I am a doghouse-type security system program. We found that just the presence of a doghouse reduces the chances of a burglary. I'm almost like the watchdog for this home. I wonder if that's true or not. That's called being hoisted on your own petard. Sweet. You can only have 5 copies of any given chip in your deck at a time. So you can't go crazy and just grind out a bunch of the best possible chip in the area and then just declare yourself the winner. The game's just not going to let you do that. So I know about PETs, huh? Yeah, sure, why not? The net navi you have is determined by the PET you have. That makes no sense, but I'll ignore that. Nobody uses the default settings until Battle Network 4. You gotta customize. If you want to install an emotion program, you can chat with it. Or if you collect battle chips, you can become a net battler. I mean, meant to ask about your PET. Never seen that one. I guess that must be an old type. Must suck to be poor. Hey, 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 hey. Not cool. Yeah, sure does have a big house. Yeah, and an inflated sense of self-worth. Alright. Home sweet home. Lan, welcome home. A man from Net Safety is checking our home control panel. You heard, right, about the ovens exploding? That's the accident Mail was talking about this morning. Hello? We think a virus might be responsible for the accidents. We're checking every home's control panel just to be safe. I'm glad it didn't happen to us. Lan, go to your room so you won't get in the way. Let's get on the net. Video games are totally unrealistic. And now we see Lan's home screen, and learn a bit about his character. He's actually a big fan of soccer, as it turns out. This is the inside of your computer, and you can access the net and other terminals. You can jack out at any time you want by pressing the R button. And yeah, that's literally all there is here. There's no virus encounters here, but there's not a whole lot of action either. And now we enter the internet proper, which looks like something was designed in 1997. Seriously, that background. And here we meet a new character. Oh, MegaMan. My name is Glide. I'm Lan's classmate, Yai's Navi. One of Yai's programs has gotten lost. Pretty sure that it's somewhere in the net around here. I have some pressing chores to do and must return now. MegaMan, if you happen to find our program, could you please come by our network? Here, please take this. Got at Yai. If you use that at the proper place on the net, you'll be able to access Yai's portrait network. You'll all be there. And if you could keep this matter to yourself, thank you. Hey, no problem, buddy. I am here to help. And now that we're on the net proper, we're going to start random encounters, much the same way we did when we were in the localized server. The biggest difficulty that most players will have in their time playing this game, pin needed to unlock. All others be gone. World 3 pin. MegaMan, let's deal with that later. 100 zennies, which is the currency of this world. But the biggest difficulty you'll have is that, well, the internet areas all look the same. Not a whole lot of creativity or personality to their name. So instead, you just kind of end up going through 16 vaguely similar areas, and you figure out where you are in relation to the plot by how powerful the viruses you encounter are. I'll take a shockwave. Happily get rid of a shotgun for it, in fact. The nicest part about the shockwave is they keep going even if they hit something, which is much, much better than the shotgun series of chips. This guy is a merchant, and we almost have enough for our first HP up. none of the chips he sells are of any value with the exception of this one, and I'll get into why later. In fact, I'm gonna run around and do a little, virus grinding, and I'll see you guys here in a few minutes.